Do you want to know the top 5 trends for your interior design and home renovations for 2025? In this video, we'll let you know. Everyone wants to know what is coming up in the world of interior design and home renovations, especially if you're planning on doing a home renovation in the year 2025. So hopefully this will sort of give you a peek into what's coming and things that are going to be sticking around for a little bit longer. So first up is gold fixtures. Gold fixtures really jumped back into the marketplace about 5 years ago, and I actually didn't think they would hold on and put such a death grip on the industry as they have, but I'm really actually happy that they have. So gold fixtures will continue to be around for 2025. You'll see that in so many magazines, different shows that you're watching as well. It's still good. You can mix and match your finishes. And even if you're using all gold, don't feel like every little thing has to be super matchy-matchy, even in the gold tones. You can do brushed gold paired with some polished gold and different brass colors. As long as it all kind of flows together, you don't have to be super matchy-matchy. So gold fixtures and lighting, plumbing, door hardware, it's going to be around. Trend number 2 for 2025 is color drenching a room. You may not even know what that means, but color drenching is when you paint the ceiling, walls, trim, all the same color and same finish. It's a really beautiful look. It might really freak you out if you're like, wait a minute, that sounds so strange, but take a look at this picture of a job that we did. We completely color drenched this office, and it is so handsome and so classy. You can use, any different colors. It works great. Color drenching is a great technique for bathrooms or dining rooms, or a room where you want to create some drama, or if you have awkwardly high or angled ceilings that might not match, you can paint them all the same color, and it really helps it feel super cohesive. It's also a great way to set a color palette for the room. Obviously, if you're drenching the whole room in a color, there's not much competition. It calms down. If you've got a lot of trim and lines that might be sort of competing, it's a great way to sort of neutralize the space, because then your artwork and your furniture and decor can really pop against one solid color. So color drenching, the second tip for 2025. The third trend you're going to see for 2025 is picture frame molding. It's so crazy. This used to be something that was considered old school or dated or too fussy or prim and proper, but it's totally making a comeback, and I actually really love it. Actually, here's the picture again of the color drenched office that we did. If you see, we actually added the picture frame molding to this office as well. It really gives it a richness. It makes it look more elegant and super custom as well. It's a great option for hallways. If you have a hallway that has no other interest to it, you could add some of that picture frame molding in there and will really elevate the space. Bedrooms are another great spot, living rooms. The only place that you don't see too much of it is in kitchens, and typically that's just because there's cabinetry in the way, so the frames wouldn't be, it would be kind of a little bit awkward. But there's no rule to it. You just have to have a good eye and mark it out. So obviously, your contractor, your designer, whoever's doing that for you, make sure you lay it out, tape it on the wall if you make sure you like the patterns, especially if you're going to use picture frame molding around artwork or a television or certain features in the room. You want to make sure that the frames are placed correctly. So picture frame molding, huge comeback. It's going to be sticking around. You're going to see a lot more of it. The fourth trend you'll see in 2025 is the color green. It is going to be everywhere in renovations and in decor. It's not going anywhere this year. In renovation part, take a look at this bathroom. We actually did a solid green tile for the entire shower surround. It's so beautiful, such a handsome look. The glass makes it special as well. But you could color drench a room like we talked about previously in different shades of green. That would be another beautiful way to apply green. It's going to be in wallpaper. And then not only for the renovation side, but in the decor side. You'll see a lot of green, bring in plants that you can add to a space, your furniture, artwork, draperies, textiles, all the different things are going to be seen in green. Here's a little reel we actually made. We went shopping to look around, sort of see what was going on in the marketplace, and everything was green. So it's something that you can't avoid this year. Really lean into it. It's a great color. It's a neutral. You see it out in nature. It pairs well with so many different things. So get yourself some green. And the last trend you'll see for 2025 is antiques. I've mentioned this before in previous yearly videos, But last year I mentioned something called granny chic. It's a trend that I was seeing a lot of, where people would just fill their homes with antiques or repurposed things. But the vibe turned from feeling cool and eclectic to just old and dated. It went too far. But what I'm liking this year is that, maximalist vibe of the granny chic, where everything is old and antique, has shifted to where you're procuring certain pieces for your spaces that are antiques. So a few years ago, it was a very modern trend. You're going to see a lot of hard, clean lines, new materials, even steel, brand new wood, super polished pieces. Antiques offer a bit of a different vibe, obviously. So what's nice now, I think the tip is, in your space, I would either do a 50-50 mix if you lean more towards liking antiques. So for every antique item or aged item or repurposed, or however you want to phrase it, item, make sure you have something newer to complement it. I would actually probably do a little less than that. So in a perfect world, I'd say probably 70% newer items and 30% antiques. The reason I like that ratio in a space is because it really then allows the antiques to shine. They're not competing with each other. And a lot of newer manufactured items don't have quite the same amount of detail and craftsmanship to them. It's just sad, but that's sort of the way of the world these days. So if you have some clean lines, say in a table, but then you pair it with really beautiful antique chairs, that's a really great way to sort of have that balance and let those antiques shine. And same thing for artwork. Sort of gone are the days of the prefab mass market pieces of artwork. I'd really suggest taking your time and hunting antique artwork, or artwork that is by a local artist. Go on Facebook Marketplace. I've actually been looking this week for my own house and trying to find some vintage prints. So anything labeled vintage, antique, or dated, that's not mass market. Nothing against mass market stuff in certain spaces, but really lean into your antique pieces in your home. So think artwork, even little sculptures, tables, and nice accent chair that was even possibly refinished but has antique frame to it is a great thing to do. So lean into some of that stuff. Old is new again. Make your space speak for yourself, and all the things in 2025. You can completely forget everything I've said if you don't like any of it, because truly decor needs to be, and design needs to be, what makes you happy and what makes you feel comfortable at home. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and like and subscribe, because I like making these videos and I'd like to know that you guys appreciate it, and I hope to see you again soon.